All right, let's get right into it. We're going to explore this really powerful idea. What if reality itself is a kind of music, a cosmic symphony? And what if our deepest struggles, well, what if they come from us losing our place in that harmony?
I mean, have you ever had that feeling of disconnection? Like something's just off. You're playing your song, but it doesn't quite seem to fit with the rest of the world. That feeling? That's exactly what we're talking about today.
Now, you should know this is not a new idea. Not at all. The ancient Pythagoreans called it musica universalis, the music of the spheres. They truly believed the entire universe was built on this perfect mathematical harmony. And later on, the astronomer Johannes Kepler took it a step further. He said, you can't hear this music with your ears, but you can feel it deep in your soul.
So, to really understand how we lost this harmony, let's try a little thought experiment. Let's imagine the journey from the perspective of pure consciousness itself, as it comes down into human form, just to see and feel what it's actually like to be one of us.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. Before all the noise, before the feeling of being separate, there was just this pure, perfect harmony, the Cosmic Symphony.
The ancient Upanishads have this beautiful way of putting it. They call it one without a second. You might have heard of it as Brahman, a single, unified field of just pure consciousness. There was no you or me, no subject, no object, just existence itself, knowing itself, perfectly, completely.
So what is this consciousness made of? Well, get this, vibration. The science of cymatics shows this so beautifully. You can literally see how sound frequencies organize matter into these incredible complex patterns, which kind of suggests that the whole cosmos, everything you see, is a physical form created by a fundamental vibration, the original song of creation.
Okay, so if it all started in this perfect unity, what happened? How did the music get so distorted? And that brings us to the great illusion, the illusion of separation.
This is how our narrator, consciousness itself, saw the change happen. It's like the instruments of creation just fell out of tune. A dissonance, a broken rhythm, was introduced into the symphony, and its echo would ripple all the way through the human experience.
Now, this slide is really key to understanding how it all happened. On the one hand, you had this state of non-dual reflexivity. Think of it this way. Consciousness knew itself so directly it didn't need a mirror. Awareness and what it was aware of were the exact same thing. But then, a split happened. A sense of I, the subject, was created. And that I started looking at the world and even at itself as an other, as an object. And that right there, that's the moment the seed of the ego, the whole feeling of being separate, was planted.
You know, today we might call the world that results from this separation the Matrix. And no, not the sci-fi movie, but a matrix of the mind. It's this whole web of unconscious beliefs, social conditioning, and all our personal baggage that shapes how we see reality and keeps us feeling like we're this separate, isolated self.
And living inside this mental matrix, being trapped in the echo of that original dissonance, it has some pretty profound effects on our everyday lives.
I think so many of us feel stuck, right? Repeating the same patterns, the same mistakes, over and over again. And what the sources here are saying is, this isn't bad luck. It's not fate. It's a predictable result. It's an internal program just running on a loop. All of it powered by this belief that we're a separate self.
And this slide just perfectly illustrates the mechanics of that loop. It's so simple, but so powerful. It starts with the same old thoughts, which of course create the same old emotions. Those emotions then drive us to make the same decisions we always make, which, surprise, surprise, create the same reality day in and day out. If you want to change the reality, you've got to break the loop way back at the source.
And there's a spiritual layer to all this too. That out-of-tune, discordant energy that we're putting out there, it doesn't just vanish. Like attracts like. It finds similar energies in the universe, and eventually, it circles right back to us. Now, this isn't some kind of divine punishment. It's just the law of vibrational reality. It's what many traditions call karma.
But this isn't a story about being permanently lost. And this is so important. No matter how deep in the noise we get, there is a part of us that never, ever forgets the original song. This is the turning point. This is when the spark remembers.
This is that moment of awakening, captured so perfectly by our narrator. It's when the conditioned self gets so lost, it feels like sinking into quicksand. And it's from that depth, from that desperation, that it finally starts to question everything. It's the soul's call to remember who it really is, to reach back for the true me that exists beyond the matrix of personality.
You know, ancient wisdom traditions have these powerful metaphors for this inner core. They call it an indestructible nucleus, a seed, or an ark. The idea is that even when the whole world outside is flooded with chaos and confusion, this essential part of you, it stays safe. It holds the blueprint for your original divine nature.
Spiritual texts have so many different names for this spark. The Atman, the Christ self, even the little man no larger than the thumb who lives inside the heart. It's the core of our being. It's the I am presence, that pure, untouched consciousness that was there long before the story of separation ever even began. And when you finally recognize that spark inside you, well, that leads to the final, most profound realization. This is the climax of our journey. It's the moment where we don't just rejoin the symphony, we realize we are the symphony.
This is the absolute core teaching of Advaita Vedanta. It says that your individual consciousness, your innermost self, the Atman, it isn't just a piece of the universal consciousness, Brahman. It is Brahman. They are one and the same. It's an absolute, one-to-one identity.
The Upanishads managed to sum up this completely mind-bending truth in what might be the most famous phrase in all of spiritual philosophy. Tat Vam Asi.
And what does it mean? It's the most direct statement possible about your true nature. It's not, you will become that, or you're a part of that. It's just, that's how you are. You are that one, universal, pure consciousness.
So, let's go all the way back to our original metaphor, but with this incredible new understanding. The goal is no longer just to find your note and get back in tune. The ultimate realization is that you aren't a single instrument in the orchestra. You are the entire symphony. You're the composer, the conductor, and the music itself, a true creator of reality.
And that brings us to the final and most crucial point. This isn't just a cool philosophy, it's empowerment. If you are the source of the music, then you are not trapped in the echo of someone else's song anymore. You hold the power to compose a brand new one. So the question is no longer, how do I fit in? But now that you remember you are the music, what symphony, what new scene, what reality will you choose to create?